So I know you're a big anime fan.
Yes, I am.
Do anime play a part in your music?
Sometimes it does, yes.
Nice.
Yo, you've got some anime themed tapes, or not anime themed, but like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sampled.
I have one right now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The Gashi box.
The Gashi box.
Yeah.
You sent us the Gashi box.
Yeah, the Gashi box volume 1. It's like I wanted to do like a series, and the reason I call it the Gashi box because the Gashi is pretty much snacks. That's all it is.
Right.
Like you would go to 7-Eleven and get all your little original snacks and stuff like that. That's what Dagashi is, a bunch like original Japanese snacks, and they come in like different flavors, different sizes and stuff. And I wanted to kind of like put a beat tape that span different flavors.
That's dope.
From not only like old school and new school anime, but also like various styles. Because you might hear a little trap here and there. I even threw in some like one of my tracks. I did put some like Jersey, Baltimore Club, and the Pokemon flip that I did that's on there. And of course, lo-fi. That's like, the lo-fi part is like the main foundation of the tape, but you hear a little bit of everything. So
That's what I noticed with your style for sure. Like that's one thing that I noticed with your style. But I gotta bring up one thing before we get to like the last question. I gotta bring up this thing because one night I'm with my fiance, right? Mm-hmm. And we were laying in bed and we were watching TV. We were just watching like old reruns and stuff and just watching TV and vibing out. And we happened to be watching The Wire. And who do we see?
I know where you're going with this.
Who do we see?
Wait a minute.
Right? We see this guy pop up on the screen and we're like, nah. But then we rewind and we're like, yeah. So we take a picture, we put it in the group chat. We like, yo, Nelac, is this you? It's like, yes, that's me. So Nelac was in The Wire, which I think is awesome.
That
we
is
have to
dope,
mention that.
bro.
Like,
Yeah.
That's really dope. So are you into acting at all, or like how did that come about?
I was doing acting professionally in a past life. Yeah.
Okay.
And that actually started at an early age too. Around like my manager that I had at the time, she was like one of the best. Linda Townsend, big shout out to Linda Townsend, based in Maryland.
Okay.
Because all the gigs that she got me, as far as like gigs and auditions, they were all like legit stuff that I even stuff that even though I may not have gotten it, I still like appreciated the fact
Right.
It was super dope to see you in The Wire.
Yeah.
That's lit. Yo, that is lit.
Like, okay, because I watched it before, and obviously I saw you, but I didn't even know you at the
Right.
time that I originally saw it. So, like, to go back and to be like, wait a minute, that's not.
Yeah.
Like, no way, right?
Yeah.
That's
dope, yo.
Yeah, but acting was also like a big major part of my life too. Even before the music. Like I've always been interested in music. Always had an ear for music. I was a huge Michael Jackson fan growing up in the '90s and stuff like that. Actually, even the late '80s because I still remember when Bad came out when I was 4.
Right.
So that was '87. But when I started getting into acting, that started with my interest in poetry. And then we were doing plays and the before and after care program that I was in and stuff. And that's what really kind of like sparked that flame when I was doing those plays and stuff. And then my dad saw that, and I used to always talk about he would always tell stories, and I actually remember saying these things and talking about you needed either a manager or an agent in order to get these gigs. And I used to always say out loud, I guess you could say I was manifesting. It's like, gotta get an agent. And then one day, like after this, I think it was like shortly after this pool accident that I had in '95. It's like I'm not supposed to be here. Thank God I'm still here.
Yeah.
But after that. And then after that seed that my grandma sowed in him, as far as like helping me to realize my dream and stuff like that, investing in, one of those things was acting. And so along with doing the plays and stuff like that, but he actually like helped me with seeking out actual management so I could do that, and did auditions after auditions. My very first like actual booked gig. Even though it didn't come out until later, my first booked gig, professional was Oprah's Beloved.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
That's hella dope.
Yes, I did that. That was '97, and then later on that same year in October, was Homicide. The Homicide Life on the Street. That was like a real big show. That was on NBC, based in Baltimore. So I was filming in Baltimore with doing my scenes there. And then since then I was always doing like small things like doing extra work or commercials and things of that nature.
Nice.
Some of the extra work I've done was like for that same year I did The Wire in 2004. I played as an extra on that Head of State, that Chris Rock movie where he was running.
Yeah, I remember that.
President.
Yeah.
Did that. I even did like some extra work on the first Transformers movie when they were filmed. They filmed some scenes in DC in the Georgetown area.
That's hella dope. Yeah.
So I did a couple of things like independent projects and stuff like that. So it was kind of like an off and on thing, but it was like a really great, wonderful experience. And one of these days, I told myself that I was going to get back into it. Definitely going to be like later on in the future since we're dealing with this COVID stuff. So.
That's still hella dope, man.
Yeah. So before I ask you the last question, you mentioned old school and new school anime, which I'm a big fan of anime too. So if you could pick one old school anime and one new school anime for the people to go watch that, like the first two that come to your mind, what two could you?
Old school, first thing popped in my mind, Fist of the North Star.
Nice.
The movie. I'll be honest, I haven't seen like the series, but I'm a big fan of the movie. New school, currently right now, The God of High School.
The God of High School. Okay, I'm not hip, but I
you
will on
need
your
to
word.
go watch The God of High School on Crunchyroll, however you get your anime.
Word.
The God of High School.
So two more questions before we sign off. Well, not even a question. Just please plug your radio show.
Yes.
Like plug yourself.
That was gonna be my next thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, me, a couple of frat brothers, and I, we recently started a radio programming through called ATL Underground. We do it through radio.co, and we have I pretty much curate different playlists to play throughout the days, and then we also have like our live shows that we do in the evenings on certain days. The primary show that we do on Sundays, and we actually going to be recording a new live show today at 5 o'clock. It's called Real Talk with Ed D and Low Key. Which we talk about a lot of different controversial topics that's the average person would be afraid to talk about. Everything from politics to sports to the COVID crisis. Our last show that we did, we was talking about the possibility of integration being a double-edged sword, the good and the bad of that.
Right.
Today we're going to be talking about
You say
white
privilege?
Yeah, we're going to be discussing white privilege and how that could lead to whitewashing when it comes to our culture. So I feel like that's really going to be a really interesting topic. We're going to be doing that. And the show, you can easily go on Major Smart, MAJORSMART, ENTLLC.com to listen, or you can download our app either on the Apple Store or the Google Play. Just type in ATL Underground, and you'll be able to pull that up and then save the app. So
yeah, make sure you give us some links, and we'll make sure to plug that. And last but not least, where can everybody find you?
For me, I'm pretty much all over the place when it comes to social media, as well as my Beat Store, which is my main website right now on BeatStars. Nelac, the Beat Ninja, all Nelac, the Beat Ninja, all spelled correctly, except for the Twitter, only because they only give you a few, so many characters. The Ninja is NJA for the Twitter, but everything else is Nelac, the Beat Ninja, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Facebook, the website, everything.
Hell yeah, man. It's been a pleasure drinking beer with
sir.
you. Getting
Yes.
kind of halfway tipsy at 9 in the morning. It's been kind of cool. Word, it's been cool.
Definitely.
We appreciate you. I'm glad we got to make this happen. It's been a long time in the making, bro.
I know,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Man?
It's been a long time in the making.
Yeah,
man.
either way, man, I definitely appreciate you guys having me. Y'all doing some big things with Beats,
Man,
Brews,
thank
and
you
Life.
so much, sir.
Beats, brews, and life.